Hi, so this is Sable Schultz, she, her pronouns, manager of the transgender services at the Center on Colfax. And today we are with Cassy Huidobro, she, her pronouns, writer of, can you remind us of the book name again?
Yes, yes. Is anyone else feeling the same way?
Right. So tell us a little bit about this book and maybe a little what inspired you to write this book.
Definitely. First of all, thank you so much for having me, and I am super excited that we are doing this Queer Author Expo for the second year. It's a pleasure to be part of it again. And yes, my book is anyone else feeling the same way? And it's a memoir. It's what it is. It's a portion of my life where I just wondered so many things, and I was getting no answers to it.
Mhm.
To any of the questions I had, and basically I just went on this quest to try and resolve any answers I could find for myself,
Mhm.
any that would feel good to me, and leave the ones that didn't. And to be sure, this is a spiritual journey I went on.
Mhm. Yeah.
I just wanted to resolve certain things and questions I had, and just things that sometimes would even torment me,
Mhm.
and some things that maybe didn't torment me, but I just wondered about. I'm like, is that true?
Mhm.
And I questioned certain things. In order for me to really receive answers, I had to even question myself from every point of view. I had to just really, in order to get clear answers, I knew that I needed to also be clear with myself. And
Mhm.
so from that point on, I was able to, it was almost like a hero's journey, when
Yeah.
I was finally saying, all right, let's say that I start from zero and I
Mhm.
start on my horse and
Mhm.
just go. That's
Yeah.
basically how it goes. And this journey, of course, as it happens in life, I wish I could tell you it was this like awesome fictional story of this hero's
Mhm.
journey. No, I mean there's like breakups and job loss and like it's a memoir. It's a very real life situation. It's a
So
story.
several delvings into the cave, as it were, right? Like that cave of struggle and
Definitely.
confronting the shadow, and yeah, all of it.
100%. A
Mhm.
100%. And it's what was interesting about writing this book is that I understood that it was me. I
Mhm.
didn't change the name. It was Cassie all along. It was me, I, first person. And by the time I decided to publish it, it was a complete freak out because I even thought, it's my name. It's
Mhm.
me. People are gonna know it was me. And the struggle wasn't per se in writing the story, because I really do feel that for a lot of the questions that I had, especially the spiritual questions, I feel like people have them. We
Yeah.
just don't talk about them. We get the elbow under the table and we're like, shh, don't talk
Mhm.
about that. And but I wanted to know. I wanted to know, and it wasn't so uncomfortable finding the answers, or continuing to ask questions. What was uncomfortable is what was uncomfortable was putting it out there into the world, knowing that these are things that we don't talk
Yeah. Right. Right. And so you are also a speaker and vlogger. Can you tell us a little bit about some of that and some of the topics that you talk about?
about. Definitely. I did have the chance to do a TEDx talk in
Mhm.
Colorado Springs a couple of years ago, and it was called Dissolve the Lines,
Mhm.
because, at the end of the day, Sable, what I think is that maybe we just don't communicate enough,
Mhm.
And so if we were able to dissolve some of the lines and that we put on ourselves, like the hard lines in the sand that we draw on, if maybe we could, without, of course, disrupting our personal boundaries,
Mhm.
if we were able to maybe just talk more, I think that we
Right.
could potentially, who knows, understand each other more. And
Mhm.
from that TEDx talk, really, I I had that idea of really, really asking questions.
Mhm.
And so I became the uncomfortable questions ninja, basically, which is what my
Mhm.
vlog is about. And I just what the point of this vlog is going and asking questions, the questions that I have had for a long time,
Mhm.
and maybe people have them too. But instead of reading a book or listening to hearsay, going directly to the source and asking people about him. Like,
Right.
for example, as it pertains to us as the LGBTQ community, I had an interview with two transgender individuals because the fact that I'm part of the scale doesn't mean that I know everything about the scale.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I went and I interviewed two transgender individuals, and I'm very honest about the interview before I start recording and tell them that these are some of the questions I've had, and if it's uncomfortable or not, these are the ones that we will ask, and they don't have to answer, and most certainly they don't have to be a part of the vlog, but
Mm-hmm.
most everybody has said yes, and these are questions that they kind of wish people would actually ask for awareness. And so I did. I started asking questions, and for example, one of the questions that I asked the transgender individuals was, is it okay to ask about the surgery?
Mm-hmm.
And what a beautiful answer they both gave. And it's like you have to watch it, but it's one of those things that I get educated on it, and
Right.
hopefully people watching get educated on it. And
Mm-hmm.
also understanding that the fact that I've interviewed two transgender individuals means that I've talked to two
To
transgender individuals.
individuals, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking to the whole population, but what it does allow me to do is at least get some kind of insight understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that suddenly I'm the expert, and like I said, one person's experience is one person's experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives me the chance
Yeah.
to ask directly instead of pretending that I know because I'm part of the scale, or like,
Right. Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there were many like that. When I spoke to the there's an interview with a Mormon lady,
Yeah.
and she is actually like it's not just per se like a person of the Mormon faith. She has a title.
Right.
And so I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk to her specifically because I'm sure that she gets a lot of these questions. And so just dive in, right? For
Mm-hmm.
every part of society where I have felt that I wanted to ask more questions, but maybe I shouldn't or didn't know, I went
Mm-hmm.
out there and I was like, I'm just going to ask you directly.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's how we gain understanding of one another,
Mm-hmm.
respectfully asking, politely listening, and being open.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic. And your vlogs and more information about your book can be found on your website,
Yes,
Uncomfortable Questions Ninja,
that. Yep, uncomfortable
Ninja.
questions. That
It'll be
ninja.
down in the description, right,
They,
of this video. Um, and so is there any advice that you would give other aspiring LGBTQ authors?
well, I would say, I don't know if I am the teacher to teach anything like that, but I would say if there was anything that I would want to impart is just just do it, just write it, because you never know who's going to be inspired by your story. You never know honestly who you're going to help by saying it.
Mhm.
And so remember that we are all human after all. And even though we are super different, we go through certain experiences that are the same. And knowing that someone is going through an experience similar than ours helps to not feel so alone.
Mhm.
So I would say just write it. You never know. Just write it.
Right. Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cassie, for meeting with us today. So Cassy Huidobro, with writer of Is Anyone Else Feeling the Same Way? Link to the book and Cassie's vlog website will be in the description. Remember to like and share this video. Hit the subscribe and the reminder icon, and check out the center's donation page also down in the description. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you so much.
Let me